Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into something profound, something that's been quietly shaping minds, movements, and meaning in the United States for generations. The influence of Islam. When most people think about influence, they imagine headlines, politics, or technology. But true influence, the kind that changes hearts and inspires generations, comes from values, principles, and purpose. Islam's presence in the United States is not just a matter of faith. It's a story of contribution, resilience, and transformation. It's about how ideas rooted in compassion, discipline, and unity have inspired countless individuals and communities across this nation. From the early African Muslims who brought their spiritual strength to American soil, to modern scholars, entrepreneurs, and leaders who embody integrity and purpose, Islam's essence has quietly helped shape the cultural fabric of America. It's in the emphasis on charity, in the call for justice, in the pursuit of knowledge, and in the practice of self-discipline, all of which mirror the very ideals this nation claims to stand for. We live in a time where division seems louder than dialogue, where misunderstanding overshadows truth. But when we pause, reflect, and truly see, we recognize that Islam's message of peace, patience, and purpose aligns deeply with universal human values. It calls for connection over conflict, service over selfishness, and faith-driven action over empty words. So, as we stand on the center stage of a changing world, it's time to celebrate the shared humanity that Islam has helped illuminate within the United States. This influence is not about domination, it's about inspiration. It's about reminding us all that faith, when lived through love, knowledge, and balance, becomes a force that uplifts nations, not divides them. Historical presence. When we look back at American history, it's easy to overlook the quiet strength of those who carried faith deep within their souls. Among the earliest builders of this nation were African Muslims, men and women brought to America against their will, yet they held on to their belief, their prayers, and their hope. They whispered verses of the Quran in the dark, wrote Arabic on scraps of paper, and preserved their dignity through faith when the world tried to strip it away. That resilience became one of the first spiritual seeds Islam planted in American soil. As time moved forward, waves of Muslim immigrants from the Middle East, South Asia, and Africa arrived, bringing with them not only their traditions, but also their determination to contribute. They opened shops, taught in schools, served in hospitals, and built communities that blended Islamic ethics with American opportunity. They didn't come to replace, but to enrich. They carried within them values of honesty, hard work, and justice, values that resonated deeply with the American dream. Today, their legacy is visible in mosques that stand across every major city, in universities where Muslim scholars teach, and in businesses that thrive on principles of integrity. Islam's historical presence in America isn't a footnote. It's a foundation. It's proof that faith can survive adversity and that conviction can shape culture even when it begins in silence. 2. Moral and ethical values. Islam teaches that a person's worth isn't measured by wealth or power, but by character. This moral compass, rooted in justice, compassion, and accountability, mirrors the highest ideals of what America claims to be. Honesty in trade, fairness in judgment, generosity toward the poor, and respect for every human life. These are not just religious rules, they're universal principles that build strong societies. Across the U.S., you can see how these values have inspired action. Muslim-led charities feed the homeless, sponsor education, and provide relief in disasters, living examples of the Quranic call to serve humanity. It shows that diversity doesn't have to divide. It can be the foundation of strength. This principle also extends beyond faith communities. Muslim leaders, activists, and youth organizations are engaging in social causes, interfaith work, and civic service that promote inclusivity and dialogue. Anami. They are living proof that identity can be both distinct and cooperative, that faith can bridge gaps rather than create them. Islam's influence, in this sense, isn't just about religion. It's about humanity learning how to live together better. As we stand here today, looking at the story of Islam's influence on the United States, we begin to see something far greater than religion or history. We see the heartbeat of humanity. We see people of faith who refuse to be broken, who chose contribution over comfort, who believe that living with purpose could change the world around them. And that, right there, is the spirit that has quietly shaped this nation. not through dominance, but through dignity. Islam's presence in America is a living reminder that strength is not found in shouting the loudest, but in serving the deepest. It reminds us that true power comes not from control, but from compassion. It challenges us to rise above division, to lead with understanding, and to remember that we are all threads in the same divine design. Every time a child learns in a Muslim school, every time a neighbor is fed in a mosque, every time a person of faith stands for justice, that's influence, that's transformation, that's faith in action. It's the quiet revolution that turns strangers into brothers, differences into dialogue, and dreams into duty. And maybe that's the real stage we're standing on. Not one of lights and applause, but one of legacy and unity. A stage where each of us, regardless of belief or background, plays a part in creating a more compassionate world. So as we leave here today, let's carry that message forward. Let's choose understanding over ignorance, respect over reaction, and purpose over prejudice. Because when we do, we don't just honor Islam's influence on America, we honor the best of what it means to be human.